This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. I just wish they would leave Princess Catherine alone. Now there's talk that she may make an appearance at Trooping the Color. What's angering me about all of this is that it's not the UK media that's putting this pressure on Princess Catherine. It's the US media, and it's being led and driven by a certain couple out in California. And all these damn journalists have stories that they're sitting on for Meghan and Harry and choose not to do anything about it, but instead they go ahead and attack a woman who has done absolutely nothing to them to deserve it. Now, I just wish that these journalists would grow a backbone and instead of breaking the PR news that's being spoon fed to them, that they actually make the news and do the investigative journalism to get to the truth. The truth that they owe the public instead of spinning propaganda and nonsense. I just want to say, in the very small chance that Catherine sees this channel or someone from her household sees this channel, please let her know that all of us here in this community are wishing for her to have a speedy recovery, but to come back when she is ready, not based off of the pressures of what people are saying on social media, particularly being led by the Sussex Squad, and then also what's being printed in the tabloids, which also is coming from the United States. Catherine, come back when you're ready. Take all the time you need. We just need you to get better. Catherine is going to do what's best for her. So if she doesn't feel like going on that balcony, then don't give her a hard time. The admirable thing about Catherine is that she's not a fame-hungry, greedy little whore, like this cloud-chasing goblin in 2019. If we had to guess Meghan's superpower, in my opinion, it would be the superpower of annoying and irritating people. Who remembers Meghan showing up to Trooping the Color back in 2019? Meghan should not have been present that day because apparently she was on maternity leave for allegedly having a baby a month prior. One would think that a real mother wouldn't leave their newborn so soon. Not our little Megsy. She couldn't pass up the opportunity to use her irritating superpower. From what I recall, she was not supposed to be in that carriage with Camilla and Catherine. In fact, she was not expected to be there because she was on maternity leave. However, it was rumored that Meghan was pissed off that she didn't get her own carriage with Harry and didn't like having to sit backwards instead of the way that Catherine and Camilla were sitting. You got to feel sorry for Camilla and Catherine, particularly Catherine, who had to actually sit directly across and listen to whatever garbage that was coming out of her mouth. It appears that Meghan talked the whole entire time. That right there is Meghan's irritating superpower in action. Before Meghan's curtsy in the Netflix mockumentary, Meghan was extremely spiteful and disrespectful, not only to the family, but especially the Queen. Not many people talk about this, but when Meghan came out of her maternity leave for this photo op, she chose to miss the first balcony appearance in curtsying to the Queen. You notice she's not on the balcony. I'm guessing she didn't want to have to stand behind Catherine. Normally, dedicated and loyal members of the royal family appear on the balcony as the monarch returns. But Meghan decided that she needed a quick costume change and felt that she didn't need to be there to pay any kind of respect because she's so much better than that. And she actually wonders why she couldn't make the family proud. She was a complete embarrassment to America. Now, we all have seen this classic clip where Meghan gets told off and put in her place to turn around, which we know she didn't like very much. But let's look at this from a different angle and a fresh perspective, because it's even more delicious. Meghan really is that person that sucks the air out of a room. I mean, it's her irritating superpower in action. The other classic moment was when Meghan tried to get the center spot behind the Queen and Princess Anne blocks her immediately. But what we don't see in this angle is really where Meghan wanted to go. Meghan wanted prime real estate on that balcony to be seen, whether it be standing next to King Charles or standing next to the Waleses. She was not happy where she was. When you go back and watch these clips, you realize how socially awkward Meghan really is. She has this habit of making herself a part of conversations that she's not a part of. And it's funny because she ends up talking to herself to make it look like people are engaging with her. What's also really noticeable is Meghan constantly looking over in the direction of the Waleses. Now, many people say that she was looking over at Charles and the Queen. No, she was looking over at William and Catherine and the children and wanted to be over there with them. Looking at this footage again, instead of William and Catherine standing on the left side of the balcony, they decide to go over to the right side of the balcony. On the surface, William was trying to get space for his family, but also we know that they most likely didn't want to stand anywhere near Meghan and Harry. Meghan knows this, and she is seething inside. It's why she constantly watches the whales during this balcony event. She's always slipping looks over to the side, even to a point where the reason why Harry had to scold her and tell her to turn around is because she wanted to move over to that side. Probably claiming, Harry, there's not enough room here. I can't see anything, and the photographers can't get a good shot at me. They need to see how I lost all this baby weight in such a quick amount of time. So, from this different angle, you see William tell Catherine to come with him over to the other side. So, Catherine goes with William, and Anne starts getting into position. But look at where Meghan is looking at. She's watching the whales. She's definitely looking over at the Waleses to see where they're going. Then she turns to Harry and says something. And you see Harry right here also looking over at his brother. Side note, look how cute Boss Baby Louis looks. I believe this was his first Trooping the Color balcony appearance. William, too, was also keeping an eye on his brother and his dumb wife. Notice he does take a look over in their direction to see where they are. But also look at Meghan. She's turned in that direction. Imagine having this thing stare at you all the time. Like, it's definitely creepy. Anyhow, Meghan's standing there with her rictus grin while Harry is having a very engaging conversation with Jack. And of course, this one's wife doesn't like it. And we all know why. It's because she's not the center of attention and she doesn't have a mic in her hand. So here's the same clip, but shot at a different angle. So what does Meghan do because she doesn't like where she's standing? She then tells Harry something that makes him look over in that direction, which does lead you to believe that there's no space over there, and this is why he was getting angry with her to turn the F around. You see, he's clearly looking over there to see if there's space so they can go over there, but there isn't any. And Meghan does this a couple times, activating her irritating superpower, to which I believe Harry was just really annoyed with Meghan constantly turning around asking about going over there. And finally, here's where he had to put her in her place when God Save the Queen started playing. She literally was about to burst into tears. This is a grown woman. Mind you, they had kids on the balcony who behaved better than she did. And you think to yourself, why did they let this woman get away with so much? Now, I am willing to bet that the royal family and the palace gave Meghan all the resources that she would need for medical as well as mental health, especially seeing what a nut job she is and how psychotic she is behind the scenes, not only with her staff, but also with the family and the lies that she's been telling. I don't doubt that they saw she had some type of mental health issue. And I would bet that someone gave her information on who she could talk to, where she could go, and she ignored it, like how she ignored everything else that the palace provided her. I think the thing that racks my brain so much is how is it that this woman was able to get away with so much deception without any consequence? I grapple with the fact that when Meghan and Harry got married, nobody questioned why Meghan didn't have any family members there except for her mother. Yes, everything played out on the world stage with her father, But at the same time, that was something that Meghan, her mother Doria, and the royal family could have mended. I think about Thomas Markle and what he had gone through during that time. Imagine you having a heart attack and your daughter is getting married on a global stage and has completely written you out of her life. That must have been heartbreaking. Now, the one thing I could never understand is why is it that the royal family didn't demand to meet Mr. Markle? Now, I know what you're going to say. Meghan probably told them all these horrific things about him. Well, don't you think the queen is smarter than just trusting this hussy? She knew that she was evil from the start. Don't you think the queen had MI5 and Scotland Yard do a background check on everyone in the Markle family? We know that William made sure to get to know Catherine's family. Why didn't Harry do the same thing? And I get it. Meghan probably told him a whole bunch of lies. But still, he should have made the time to go and see for himself and shake the hand of Mr. Markle. He didn't even do that. Doesn't matter if Harry is a prince. It shows he has no class. But I guess that in itself shows that he truly did meet his soulmate, because look at what he married. Anyhow, what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. As always, I will be back with more content, but until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!
I was such a fraud.